Well, welcome to Chapter 2 of the short course, Are You New to Z-Scale? We're going to show you some layouts here and talk about some issues of doing a layout. Let's start with wiring controllers. 100% of the track I work with is Rokuan. I find their turnouts to be best. I like their wiring options, and here you see their power supplies. I only use the big RC03 on my huge main lines with all kinds of turnouts. On my littler layouts, I like the RC02, but I also adore the Blue Line Snail controller. How about DCC? Don't do it. On N scale, all my equipment is DCC. On Z scale, none of it. In Z, I only run on my littler layouts, one per track. On my biggest layouts, I have a holding track. A slow train can be pulled over and let the one that's catching it pass it by. I don't need to have speed syncing between trains. In addition, on Z scale, you can buy tethered locomotives. You buy them ABA, AB, you just tether them, you just put them together. I can hook up two DC locomotives and have them pull a long train pretty well. In addition, if you put in a Z-scale decoder, you better be able to do 100% of your own service work. No service center will touch it. Radius, toy or real. At Logan Square Z and N, we want 145 millimeter minimum on all curves. We may have a little showcase jewel of a layout that sits on top of a big layout that has a tiny 120 or even a 95 millimeter radius, but probably 99% of our curves are 170 millimeter or more. And more than that, we only use 170 on the tightest downhill curve that you will have. 195 is what we want for regular inclines, and on full-size table layouts, we say you should never be less than 220. We would be saying 245 or 270. You might say, what about Rokuan shorties? Well, don't ask me. No, never, no more. You will never see me own a Roku shorty. And I don't recommend you do either. That one, look what you can get, the Markland VW 88025. In Europe, they use the microbus to service train lines. Smallest train locomotive sold. Go get one. How about inclines? You might be surprised how steep an incline a good Z-scale locomotive with just a few cars can handle, but just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. We believe 3% up, 4.5% down is what you should live by. Here are some pictures of some of the layouts we sell. This one shows two of our layouts nested. In the center is the elongated figure 8. It rests within the double loop 36 by 24. Oh, if you had both of these, you would now have 3 trains running. And as you can see, the elongated figure 8 is a 170 millimeter minimum. The double loop 36 by 24 is 195 and 220. You can run real equipment on a layout like that. We also do square ones. On the left, you see an auto-reversing one. It starts at a station, tears itself off, goes up a hill, stops at the next station for a few seconds, and then comes back down. You get 2 trains running at the same time, back and forth, while they just will keep auto-reversing all day. Or you want it to still be a spiral. Well, here we have minimum radius 170 on the right, 195 is the blue. In red, that little pop-off topper is the jewel. That's the 95 millimeter one. But that Markland, boy, would that little VW look good on the jewel. Now we get to more serious layouts. This is one that has both holding track and sidings. And because it has a holding track, you could run 2 trains per track. When the faster one is starting to catch the slow one, pull the slow one off on the holding track, let the fast one pass, and then put them back on. You also here start getting into sidings, and because of all of this, in 48 by 24 inch, you've got a lot of action going on. Oh, here's the big boy. 64 by 36. Not only do we have this big figure 8 going and we have some sidings, we've got this just a beautiful stretched out set of radiuses that are 245 and 270 on the main lines. These are tailor-made for long American style locomotives and cars, and I only run full American style equipment on this layout. You would love it. Haul up to 20 cars in length, no problem if you've got 2 tethered locomotives. Closing out chapter 2, please check out everything we sell. We typically have a lot of stuff up on eBay. We have other resources on our YouTube. We are building a channel. In short, we would like to work with you often, now and in the future.